This week I'm in the small English village of Tunbridge, working with the NHS Trust of Kent Medway and doing 2 days on super shrinks, helping practitioners here both in physical medicine and in mental health improve their performance by learning from the field's most effective practitioners. It really is a beautiful small town, and I have over these 2 days the privilege of working with almost 200 physicians, psychologists, nurses, and social workers, because things here in the UK are, like other places around Europe and the United States, changing. The emphasis and race is on for measurable outcomes. Diane Clare, you work for?
Kent and Medway Partnership Trust.
Okay,
Yeah.
and we're right now in Tunbridge.
That's right.
In the UK.
Yeah.
And 2 days on super shrinks.
That's right, yeah.
What's going on in the UK that would make this topic something of interest to the practitioners that work with you?
There's a lot of interest at the moment in being able to evidence what we're doing in terms of outcomes, having some sort of baseline to start with about how you're doing in order to then evidence that you're progressing. There was quite a big sort of government agenda around Darcy's paper on quality and on being able to demonstrate that you are improving quality of your services.
Okay.
And that was about being able to have more sort of service user experience being expressed positively about their experience, being able to measure that, being able to demonstrate that, getting their feedback. And also there's quite a strong emphasis from commissioners of service around getting good value for money, especially at this current time. So I think it's become more and more important for services to do that.
It's kind of interesting, those themes all weave together. So emphasis on outcomes, getting the consumers to participate and give feedback, and then how could we avoid this kind of ongoing economic situation that both the UK and the US find themselves in?
Sure. I don't know whether we can avoid it, but we can actually do what we can with limited resource and do the best we can with limited resource and learn where we're making mistakes as well. I think that's becoming much more of a sort of part of the culture now, is actually being able to learn from those mistakes or learn from the things that don't go so well, so we can improve and use the I guess the facilities and the resources to the best we can.
Right. And if you have to put your finger on one or a couple of challenges you see in implementing this kind of idea throughout your particular service, can you, do ones pop into your head at this point?
I think that there is a lot of resistance to the idea that if we were going to use another outcome measure, that somehow or other it would become a sort of bureaucratic nightmare.
Okay.
That there would be a lot of sort of intrusiveness around it and a lot of inappropriate use of it, I guess.
Right. Measuring, using it to hire and fire.
Something like that. And I think staff, understandably, in this climate, get very worried that somehow or other the latter, the hire and fire factor, could come into play.
Because the response over these 2 days with the group has just been really wonderful. People are excited, they're interested, but that means management and leadership has to play a role and step in.
Certainly, because the other part is that I think what happens is you keep bolting on, or we keep bolting on things rather than thinking it through and saying, well, are some of the things we're doing really necessary? What value do they add? Are there some of the measures that we're using which I think sometimes get imposed upon us by folks who are, I think, well-meaning but don't totally understand whether those measures are actually really useful in practice.
Right.
And what they tend to do is alienate the frontline workers.
Of course, yes.
And then you get an awful lot of resistance to actually using the measures, so you don't get any idea.
Well, the measures are dead, in a sense. It's just a paperwork, something. Well, here at the conference these last 2 days, I saw a familiar face, Ron Wilgosh, and I thought, what's Ron doing here? Does he work for this particular NHS? What are you doing here, Ron?
We've known each other for a while.
Yes.
Yeah, we've known each other for a while now. And I've followed a lot of the work that you've been doing, and I've attended your conference before for the next one, and it was an NHS trust that had invited you.
Yeah.
And that was a real eye-opener for me, because my understanding of the work that you're presenting here is contrary to how we understand what we're being encouraged to use by NICE.
Okay.
Which is very much a specific model for us.
It's what you're saying.
It's very much a watershed event.
Yeah.
It really is an eye-opener, and I think it takes a lot of... I think it's a courageous and a brave initiative to take.
Yes.
Okay? Because it is contrary to everything else that certainly I'm immersed in very much a different way of working.
And you can hear some of the frustration of practitioners in the group about what they're being told to do and the realities on the ground.
Yeah, very much so. And I think there's a very strong level of frustration around. But what I've heard as well is a sense of relief that there's a different way of doing this. That's what I've heard a lot of at this conference. Yeah.
It's always good to see your face, Ron.
Thank you.
Well, my time here in Tunbridge, England is about over. I can't believe how quickly these 2 days went by. It was so inspiring to me to have an opportunity to interact with the many professionals who gathered to listen to this presentation, folks who labor under very difficult circumstances, but who consistently strive to achieve their personal best.
Achieving your personal best will in fact be the focus of the upcoming Achieving Clinical Excellence Conference to be held in Kansas City in October of 2010. You can get detailed information on the ICCE website at centerforclinicalexcellence.com. I hope you'll join us there for 3 days of education and inspiration. The leading expert on expert, Dr. Kay Anders Erickson, will be kicking off our conference, followed by a variety of practitioners and scientists, and also top performers in a variety of fields, including entertainment, sports, etc. It will be an incredible 3 days where you will be helped to achieve your personal best. I hope to see you there, Kansas City, 2010. Don't miss it.